What's up guys, it's Edge, and this is my first video back from finals. School is out, ended yesterday, and I got to play some Battlefield yesterday and all that good stuff. So unfortunately though, while finals were going on, E3 was out, so I kind of wanted to quickly tell you all of what I thought about that, of all the different things that came out during that, and what that they showcased during that and all that good stuff. First off, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Everyone is talking about how the PlayStation 4 wrecked the Xbox One by basically giving everyone what they already had. But the thing is, that's what people wanted. So if you haven't heard yet, which I'm sure most of you guys have, the Xbox One is introducing some new concepts of having an always-on feature, which you need to check in with the internet every 24 hours. It also makes you pay every time you rent or loan a game to someone. You have to pay an extra fee, like half price of the game or something like that, just to use it on a different console. Also, Connect is being included, which raises the price up by $100, which some people might not ever use and find that they need or want. Also, it's kind of weird that it's always going to be there and it has to be connected to your system, like while you're using it. It's like an essential part of the thing. A lot of people aren't going to really go for that. And then the PlayStation 4 just kind of introduced nothing. They just kind of went along with the old stuff, which is what everyone wanted. Personally, I've been a PlayStation 3 fan, so for me, I would have probably got the PlayStation 4 anyways, just because that's what my friends are on. That's what I think is a better choice. But I know there's a lot of people out there that like the Xbox, and I have seen the Xbox 360 at least has some really good features on it. Some features that I think make it better than the PlayStation 3, in my opinion, as long as you're willing to pay the extra money for the Xbox Live and all that stuff. But anyways, consoles aside, because I'm not really going to buy one of those, just thought I would talk about it because everyone is. I'm following the pack. But the games were a lot bigger for me. I saw 4 or 5 games that I was really interested in that looked really good. The first one being Battlefield 4, which in my opinion looks a little bit like a Battlefield 3 update, but there's enough new stuff in there that I think it is going to be a good purchase. It is going to be worth it to buy that game totally. Basically what they're doing is they're introducing a lot more map damage, like different things can explode and break and whole buildings can fall and all that stuff if you haven't seen it. It looks like they're changing the blue icons at the bottom of your screen and like all over your screen in the corners and stuff. All that's turning to gray, which I think looks a lot better, to be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of the neon blue. Maybe it was cool when it first came out, but the gray is going to be pretty cool. It's got some opacity to it. Opacity? I don't even know. So yeah, you can see through it a little bit. And that looks really cool. Also, they've dimmed down the sun a little bit, which I was also noticing yesterday playing with Monkey. I was noticing a lot of that sun flare is just really annoying. You can't see a thing. Also, they are decreasing suppression blur, which is amazing. It's the one thing that annoys me the most probably in that game, is suppression blur. You get shot at once and your whole screen goes fuzzy, and it's like, well, dude, I'm trying to shoot back. What's going on? But in that aspect, I think it would be better if it was less realistic. I know that might be realistic for everything to be blurry, but in a game, you know, you kind of want to have the advantage of being a game, you know, so you're not actually getting freaked out every time you get shot at. But that said, actually, there's one other thing. I think they might include having ammunition. So like if you have 15 bullets left in your clip, you tear that out, you don't get those 15 bullets back when you put the new one in. So every time you replace a clip that has some bullets in it, you lose those bullets, which is kind of more realistic. I wouldn't really mind that. I think it's a good aspect of the game. Makes you have to tactically use your ammunition a little bit more instead of just reloading every time you shoot one guy, which would be cool. I mean, it would make it a little more interesting, I think. Most games don't do that, so that's cool. It may also be only in hardcore mode, but that would be another thing. So yeah, let's move on to the next game that I thought was really cool, and that was The Division. Now, look it up if you haven't already. I'll put a link to the HD gameplay. It's a 7-minute long video. That'll be in the link. That'll be in the description of the video. It looks really cool. Basically, what it is an open world server that you go on with a couple of other people, or I guess you could go by yourself too. The idea is that you have a couple of other friends with you, and you're going to be this band of survivors in the middle of this apocalyptic world where everything is overrun with this disease that transmitted through everything. There's a couple trailers that explain like the backstory to it and all that, and it's pretty cool. But the link in the description will be to the gameplay, which is amazing. The game looks gorgeous. It's made by I think Ubisoft, and it's like Tom Clancy's edition, or it's a Tom Clancy game, one of those. And it looks amazing. It's pretty much like, I haven't really played too much of World of Warcraft, but it's pretty much like World of Warcraft with guns and amazing graphics, and it looks like a lot of cool stuff. I just love the way the windows pop up every time you look at something or you're in a menu. The windows pop up on your screen in like a 3D different thing. I don't know, that's really cool. Speaking of 3D, my dad almost bought a 3D TV this weekend, which would have been awesome. I could have played Battlefield 3 in 3D, because it converts, I think it converts any digital image into 3D, which would just be sick. But anyways, that's a little off topic here. So moving on, some other things we saw were Battlefront. My goodness, that game hasn't been made in so long. But I remember the old one. I think it was on the PS2, if I remember correctly, ages ago. Probably, I'm gonna say 6 years ago. It was made, something around there, 5 or 6 years. And my friend had it. I never owned it, but it was my favorite game every time I went to his house, which wasn't too often, but it was like every time we went over, that was just what we did for like an hour or two. It was awesome. Love that game. I'm looking forward to that a ton. I love Star Wars. Not in like a super obsessive nerdy way, but just like, I think it's pretty cool kind of thing. Seen each movie more than once, except for maybe the third. I think I might have only seen it once, but anyways. So yeah, and lastly, there's one other one. It's called Watch Dogs. Now it's a sequel apparently to Sleeping Dogs, but it's not really a sequel in that it follows a storyline. It's more like the sequel in that they upped their game, made the graphics more intense, made the game even cooler, made the storyline even better. Basically, a little inside on the storyline. You are a guy in Chicago, and you are a hacker, and you hack into everything in Chicago pretty much. And you have a little device, I think it's a phone or something like that, that you can activate all these different things in the city. And basically what you do is you kind of fight crime. So you can, and you can also like just roam around the city, do whatever you want. It's an open world thing, which I am learning to love very quickly here with Far Cry 3 introducing me to that. And even Minecraft, technically you could call open world, because you can go wherever you want, endlessly. So, I mean, that's the coolest game to me. So The Division is also open world. I think that's really what's capturing my attention lately, is these open world games where you can do whatever you want, and then if you want to do a mission on the side, you can. Basically, you can, in this game, a big thing that you can do is profile recognition, which you can see everyone's story, and I'll link to this in the description too. You can see everyone's like backstory, like what their job description is and all that stuff, how much money they earn, and then you can hack into their ATM or into their bank account and get money from an ATM. This is what they showed in the gameplay trailer that I watched, which I'll link. And then you can go and you see a girl in the trailer, and you see her, she's talking on the phone with a boyfriend or something, some guy, and you see her victim percentage going up from like 20%, and it goes up, and you follow her. She goes around the corner, she meets this guy, and it spikes up to like 50 or 60%. And then as she's talking to the guy's yelling, and they're yelling back and forth. And then the guy grabs her, and it's at like 85%. And that's when you go in and like aim your gun down on the guy. He runs away. I mean, it looks so badass. I am so excited for that game. So those 4 games right there are definitely on my must-buy list, as long as they all get good reviews. But I'm pretty sure that all of these will. I mean, they all look like top-notch games. So yeah, that's my little take on E3 this year. Wii U got nothing for you. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed the Battlefield 3 gameplay. Lots more coming soon. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.